What are the features of federalism? As to this federalism, what all should it have? The first and the most important is that the government needs to have levels. That is, it could have either 2 or more than 2 levels. And once again emphasizing, India has 3 levels of the government. Next is, the jurisdiction of these governments should be well defined. Everybody should know what is the domain, what is actually their jurisdiction wherein they can participate or they can legislate. This jurisdiction should be specified in the constitution of that country, because constitution is in fact like a bible of the country wherein people try and understand what is right and what is wrong. So, this jurisdiction has to be specified in the constitution of that country. Next is that the fundamental provisions of the constitution, that is the basic provisions which are there in the constitution, cannot be changed unilaterally. That is, one segment of the government, one level of the government cannot change any aspect as far as the fundamental provision of the constitution is there. All of them, all levels of the government have to agree, have to come to a common front in order to have a common ground. Now, the courts, that is the judiciary, which in fact is like the guardian of the people of that country, the constitution of that country. So, they should be able to interpret the jurisdiction of the governments. They should be able to judge, they should be able to tell as to what exactly is right or wrong. Next, we have the sources of revenue. You see, money can bring in all the conflict everywhere. So, the sources of revenue have to be specified. That is, from the land, who can collect revenue, which government, from on trade, which government is going to levy taxes. So, all this has to be clearly specified so that there is no conflict and every government knows what are their source of income. Next, what is the objective of a federal government? Why do we need to have a federal government? Why do we feel that this is the best form of government that we can have? Because this kind of government believes in unity of the people, and it also believes that it is able to safeguard regional autonomy. That is, people in the region, in the states, in the districts, they are able to retain their identity, they are able to retain their regional culture, but still which does not act as a hindrance to the unity of the country. In fact, for a large country like India, this is the best arrangement that one can have, that people from diverse culture, religion, language and other such specifications as they might have, they all should be able to believe that their interests are safeguarded, but they cannot play havoc with the unity of the country. Now, a balance of power has to be done in a federal government. That is, as I said, the 3 levels of the government must know that they cannot overlap on the jurisdiction of each other's government. Therefore, there are 2 types of federation, and those federations are coming together federation and holding together federation. Coming together federation is that federation wherein few states, few countries come together, form a confederation, form a kind of union, and they feel that they are better in this method. So, they call themselves as a federation, which is termed as coming together federation. USA is the biggest example of coming together federation. But what about a country which is huge, which is big, something like India, wherein you have small states, districts and other such divisions at the lower level. Now for this kind of a federation, you have to hold them, you have to actually bind them, you have to actually see to it that they do not feel that they are left out, but still are a part of a big huge country like India. So here India is the best example of holding together federation.